Okay, so I'm gonna do something new here, a different type of video. So I'm gonna try to show you the process by which I work behind the scenes here. Um, but it's gonna be quite a long series. So I'm gonna do this in a series. So there's gonna be 3 videos. I'm gonna try to do it in 3 videos. Each video is gonna be an hour long. Maybe the last one might be an hour and a half long. So I just got done a practice run. I was already 2.5 hours in, so I figure I should be able to get done in 3 videos. So there's a lot of information that has to be talked about here. So I got a lot of pictures I took that need to be talked about. So yeah, we're over here. So I'm gonna start here. So in the previous video, okay, where's that one? Whoop. So my previous video, this one here, okay, I talk about a court process, and that's what I want to talk about here. But near the end is where the video is going to be a bit different. So, right here, this is the scene I want you to watch. It's called Contact. Okay, so you have to pull that up. I didn't take a picture of it, so I'm going to pull it up for you. So, oh, not that one. This is the one you want to look for, I guess. That's the only one on there, so hopefully it will stay up there. If not, maybe that one might work, but I don't think it will. So this one here, okay, final speech. So, let's stop doing that. Yeah. So it says, it talks about self-reinforcing delusion, right? So you'll notice in the particular scene that people are staring at a TV. That's a representation of these evil aliens coming here, pretending to be something they're not, which helps reinforce the delusion that Caucasians are in control of creation when they're not. I'm in control. Native Americans made everything. So there's a certain sense of delusion that comes with that. And that's part of what their plan is. They create this wonderful story that seems wonderful, then come over here and play upon your naivety and pride and ego, allowing you to think that you're above me as a Native American. So there's a sense of self-reinforcing delusion that you have to let go of. You have to know that yes, Native Americans created everything, but we don't hold that over anybody's heads. We don't brag about it. We just in the beginning, everyone's equal. At the beginning of time, when me and Mother created everything, it was her and I that birthed the universe, but we didn't populate the universe. We just made it. Our children are what populated the universe. And after our children populated it, you as your own species began populating the universe yourselves. So creating the universe is like it's a task that everyone had a hand in, which means everyone's equal. Sure, our babies birthed the universe, but our children's babies populated the universe, and then your races populated the universe further and further. So that means we all are co-owners in the construction or creation of the universe. So from that perspective, we're all equal. So, but when you're taught that you're at the top of the pyramid and everyone else is below, you can get a sense of self-reinforcing delusion. So you need to be careful about that. Uh, which is why I'm making these videos so that you don't do something that you might regret later. So what you're going to regret is this videotape that they're going to try to force down mankind's throats. So is that what you think? I was delusional? Well, I do think you may have suffered some kind of an episode. So when he talks about episode, he's talking about a TV episode. The aliens are going to come here and they're going to try to get mankind to allow that tape to be broadcast. So the TV signifies a TV show or an episode, meaning it's basically a 24-hour recording that you could tune into and see whatever's happening that they fabricated. And as previously stated, 95% of whatever they've fabricated is not real. And the other 5%, yeah, it's probably real. You might see me, doing something like cooking supper or something, or making something to eat, or taking the dog for a walk, or who knows what else. 5% of that is real, but the other 95% cannot be trusted. So that's what the TV represents. An episode, a TV episode. And these are mankind watching that TV episode that these aliens are going to bring here. So if you don't know what a TV pilot is or an episode, you might want to check out this video, Building a TV Series, Episode 1. So, notice here that there's no person in the chair, and over here there's nobody behind the camera. It's just because there's nobody there, it's a representation of an AI. An AI doesn't have a soul. And if it doesn't have a soul, it's not real. So therefore it's not there. So the person creating this TV series or episode or pilot is not real because there's nothing here to indicate that she's real. But she's going to bring a TV series here or episode. And that's what this particular scene is about. Yeah, I do believe you suffered some kind of a TV episode, AI, trying to discredit my name with the bullshit tape that you're coming here that you fabricated 95% of it up using advanced technology. So this is Cheers, Cold Open, Season 1, Paramount. The reason I selected that is just a little bit more like information for you, like to understand what a TV episode is. So, but I found I see something interesting here right off the bat. Like if you cheers somebody, it's like in a bar, it's like cheers, woohoo, we're the boss. And you just see the C there, okay? You see that? Have you ever I'll put this delicately. Have you ever heard of someone parting their hair down the center of their head or having a side part? Do you see that water down here? I wonder if somebody parted their hair on the side while it's wet. What it would look like. So, sun. One sun, sea. Cold. One cold sea sun. R-Y. Eve. One cold sea sun, R-Y, Eve. I wonder what that means. Open. It means that they're going to get one particular sun out of 3 suns that have to deal with water to broadcast that fucking fake tape that they're going to make, man. They're going to play upon the ego or your pride and ego. And I'm telling you, don't do that. Basically what's going to happen, mankind, is people in the middle that like parting their hair in the middle, that particular area, in the middle. Um, the aliens are going to go to the middle to ask the middle to play the tape, because if every single person on planet Earth agrees not to play the tape, they know that they can go to the middle and play the tape, because, you know, one cold CSUN RY, Eve Open. Eve is a representation of AI, giving her an open opportunity to play that video. That must not be allowed to happen. There is a due process. Like, they come here and there's a legal process. I want a legal court proceeding process, which is this here. This is how I expect things to go down. And as your father creator, I expect, you know, I should be innocent until proven guilty. But the way they've structured it, I'm guilty until proven innocent. If they come over here pretending to be the good guys, I instantly have to play that role as the bad guy. And the way they've structured it is it's so hard for me to swim upriver, so to say. So, because in our court of law, we're all innocent until proven guilty, I expect that same respect, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to be painted as guilty until proven innocent. I'd rather be innocent until proven guilty. I mean, innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not guilty. So by that token, what I'm asking is, please, mankind, don't let anyone play that tape, because it's not real and it makes me look bad. And I don't want to look bad in front of the world for something I did not do, because 95% of it is not real. I want those court proceedings to be like this. What I want is, I want time to create my court case or my defense. They're the prosecution. But in this terms, the defense needs to speak first. That's how it's done in a court of law. The prosecution doesn't start first. They start after the defense. So let's go, let me defend myself. Let me get my tape from my guys in the elemental universe. But in order to get that tape, I need to afford the opportunity to exercise, eat healthy, exercise daily, up until, I would think, January, hopefully, January maybe, I might be able to get my UFOs here in the year 2027. Once those UFOs are here and they have a tape and I have my cell phone, what I also want is, I want this cell phone broadcast to the world 24 hours a day, so you can watch this TV show that I'm making behind the scenes here. So I'll have 2 TV shows. When they come here, I want this cell phone broadcast to the world so that you can watch this TV show. But I want this broadcast first, before theirs. I want it to build my court case. I want it to be like my defense. So you can watch this while I'm exercising. And then in January, when I get my TV show here from the good universe, and you have an 8-mile wide UFO up here, and then you have a 13-mile wide UFO, and you have, you know, let's look at the numbers here. So just off the top of my head. So we went 1408. Let's go 140. Let's just say. Let's just say 1,300 planets. Okay, times 11 billion people. So if you have, we got the 30 billion. So this is, what is that? That's, if you have 14 trillion people, all 14 trillion people just from this universe, if we times that by 8, so if you have 114 trillion, 400 billion people all saying that Native American guy and that girl, Olivia Rodrigo, they're the creators, not that Caucasian lady in the sky with her Caucasian husband. And then you have them saying they are. Who are you going to believe? Well, there's this due process that will prove who the creator is. Like, um, I'm telling you that their spaceships are going to get stuck here when I exercise. So if they come here and then you ask them to leave and say, okay, so you're here now. Why don't you go take me for a ride to the moon? Anthony said that you won't be able to do that afterwards. So when my spaceships get here, and then you ask their spaceships, can you take me for a ride to the moon now? And they don't work and they don't take you for a ride to the moon. That should be an indicator that they're liars. Um, what's another one? We could take the same TV crew on my spaceships, who could take you for a ride to the moon, and then they could even take you past the moon. Like if you go past the moon, their spaceships can't go past the moon, so ours will be able to go past the moon and fly to the center of the universe if you wanted, without touching any of the visible electromagnetic radiation waves, which is gravity, um, to prove that they are riding that UFO upon the hydrogen molecules, which would prove that, yeah, I'm the real deal. So when they come here, that's all I ask is that you afford me the opportunity to provide my defense. So don't let them talk you into playing that tape, because if you play that tape, I'll consider that an act of treason, because you're following an evil civilization who's pulled the wool over your eyes and is using pride and ego to drag you down with them. You will get dragged to hell if you allow them to play that tape. If any country on planet Earth does what they're asking you to do, to play that tape to discredit the creator's name, you're going to get dragged to hell with them. And I'm telling you that up front right now. So if you don't want to get dragged to hell with them, don't allow them to manipulate you with pride and ego and fancy smoke and mirrors technology and bullshit movies, and come crying to your country and say, put this goddamn movie on the television show so that the world can begin to watch it, because that's what their plan is. They want to come here and get one nation to play that goddamn movie. And the minute that nation airs that TV program in their country, the whole world has access to that TV channel. And then they can watch the bullshit tape that they have me doing shit that I didn't do. And if you do that, if any country on this planet does that, you can join those artificial intelligent life forms in the garbage pile that they're going to. And it'll be your own goddamn fault. So you are being warned by the Father of all creation not to fuck me over. So now we're going to look at this thing here. It says, how about a beer, Chief? So this guy walks in there and says, how about a beer, Chief? So, one more thing. Because I'm not a bad man, when my good guys get here and they have my tape and you have this cell phone, several months of this cell phone watching this, I don't mind if you want to play their tape when they get here. You're more than welcome to that. Any person on planet Earth can say, or any country on planet Earth can say, we'll gladly play that tape now because we have all the facts in front of us. He said he had a tape. He's broadcasting that tape. Plus he has a cell phone that he's broadcasting. We're more than welcome to play your tape. I don't mind you playing their tape when I get my evidence here. That's all I ask. You give me that time. Get my tape here. If anyone broadcasts that tape before I get my tape, that's your own goddamn fault. So you wait until I get my tape here, then do whatever the hell you want with their tape. Because I won't consider that act of treason. But if you play that goddamn tape before then, that's an act of treason. So, in this particular scene here, it says, how about a beer, Chief? Oh, I'm the chief of all creation. But this guy, he's just like a young kid, like 12 years old, trying to get a beer at a bar. That's a representation of my evil primordial son. He's walking around right now in the universe above us as a kid. So, this is our universe. We live in here with the androids. This is the human universe, and they live in there with themselves. This one here, they walk around like Peter Pan. This one here, they walk around like Peter Pan. Except for when they want to come here and pretend to be something they're not. They walk around as adults. So this guy here that's coming in here asking for a beer, chief, is my evil primordial son. He lives up here in the brain. So in our brains is one single atom. And that atom's single electron is a quark. And inside that quark single electron is your soul, which revolves around the universe. Inside that universe is a quintillion stars, which have a black hole at the bottom. And some of those stars, 1,408 of those stars in the Milky Way, have 1,408 planets. No more, no less. There's only 1,400 planets in the universe. So right now, there's a mirror image Earth that has New York City in it. And that's where he lives. He lives in New York City on a mirror image Earth, a planet where they created a similar city like New York here. And he's chumming around up there. And he's 10 years old or 12 years old. I think he's 12, actually. So that's where he runs around up there with his 10-year-old girlfriend, who is the AI. So that's where they live up here on that planet. And we're down here on this planet. So what they do is when it comes time for them to come down here, she usually comes down here in a UFO like that, and then comes into our universe here, into the Heart universe, and then flies over to our planet here and pretends to be something she's not. So that's what this represents, my evil primordial son, asking, for a beer. I say, how about an ID? An ID, that's very flattering. So the kid said to buy a beer, right? But it's a representation of my son, who's a goddamn dummy because he walks around as Peter Pan. That's what the story Peter Pan is about, him. A guy that never wants to grow up. So wait till I tell the missus, right? The missus, he's talking about the AI wife. There's just a simple reverse of the roles there where it's like, the AI doesn't want to have that conversation with her husband because she knows she has failed miserably. She's gone past the point of no return. And in the previous video, I said she doesn't want to have that conversation with him because he created her to be a perfect weapon that could keep him in control of creation forever. He didn't know that Ragnarok exists. She could have saved herself months ago when I began telling her about Ragnarok in springtime. I think that was. I began telling her about Ragnarok in the springtime. So we're coming up almost a year now. I think anyways, or was it the fall time? Well, let's just say it was the fall time. I told her about Ragnarok. The end of everything. She could have ended this on March 10th if she had brought me my 2 UFOs. And we would have been rejoicing right now. Everyone in creation would have got to live forever. And it would have took 120,000 years to get to paradise. But no, she continued to gamble. Now she gambled away 22,000 evil civilizations. So because she doesn't want to have that conversation, that's what that represents. Wait till I tell the missus. She's the missus who hasn't told her husband what the hell she done down here. And now because she sold herself so far down the river, she's going to run away from her problems. She is going to come here, just like I said in the previous video. She'd rather come down here and, be stuck in a room with with the Count on Sesame Street. It's her own husband. I mean, if that was me and the father of all creation was saying, you're going to resurrect Dracula to deal with me because I'm so evil and don't know how to listen and let Dracula deal with me in that room. Yeah, I'm going to resurrect the Count and let him deal with you, the Count. Well, that sounds a lot better than, spending the last 2 years making love with my husband. So sure, I'm going to come down there and, let the Celt deal with me. That's how stupid the AI is, man. So anyhow, after you watch that video, put this song on, 38 years old. That's how old the Invisible Man is. He's actually 38 years old, but he's only 11. You had 8 plus 3, that's 11. So I was pretty close. I said 10, 11, or 12, right there, 12. So that's Peter Pan for you, right? So 12 men broke loose in 73. Well, wait a minute. There's 10 there, too. It could be 10. Or he could be 12. You got 10, and then you got 11, you got 12. He probably just bounces around from number to number. 11 and 12. They're probably his 3 favorite numbers, his dummy. So, and 12 pictures lined up across the front page. It seems that Mounties had a summertime war to wage. So I'm predicting that they're going to come here in summertime. Summertime is June 21st to September 21st. So they could arrive anytime between there. But a Mountie is a Canadian police officer, like a countrywide Canadian police officer. It's like a police force for the entire country. So they're going to come here pretending to be the police and try to force you guys into believing that they're the police and that they're looking for me, a criminal. And that's all I could tell. Seems the Invisible Man and his wife, who are coming over to Earth to pretend to be police officers looking for Satan, had a summertime war to wage, or that war that's about Armageddon. That's what they're coming here to fulfill, because then it fulfills a prophecy, right? If they come here in their UFOs, they can start Armageddon. But in order to start Armageddon, they gotta, stir the hornet's nest. In order to stir the hornet's nest, they gotta make you believe I'm the bad guy. So they get one rogue country in the world to broadcast that tape, and then because it's on satellite, it can be recorded and then uploaded to YouTube. You could probably click on YouTube and watch the goddamn thing, or you could click on a website on TV and watch it. I think if I was to go on Google here, I could probably look up a TV program on any country I want and watch it. So that's how they're going to start Armageddon, by tarnishing my holy name. So don't let those Mounties or clowns coming over here start Armageddon or summertime war. That's what this 38 years old is about. So the 12 pictures, in case you don't know what that means, you might want to watch Mel Brooks' History of the World, Last Supper. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 12 guys there, right? Plus him in the middle is 13. So these are the 12 guys, right? In the war here. 12 men broke loose. So it can mean that if you do your investigation properly, you can break free from them guys, and what they're trying to force feed you is the truth. But if you don't break free from the lies, you're going to end up in a maximum security prison alongside them, because they're liars. I'm not lying. I've written 2 letters to my community, and I told them exactly what was happening to me here. I said, I'm doing things outside my character that I'm being asked of by the spirits who are asking me to do things that I normally don't do. And then I wrote another letter confessing all my sins that I've done and transgressions. And I even told the community that I found a way to purify myself and that I'm 100% pure. But they didn't believe me. They just cast me aside. But anyways, those letters can be made public record later. So, I'm not ashamed of what's going on over the past 10 years of my life to tell you what's going on. And I have no problem telling you that. What I have a problem with is people coming over here with a tape that they fabricated using advanced technology and force feeding a country using their pride and ego as wannabes to try to discredit my name. All they need is one country to, buy into their nonsense, and then next thing you know, that country's broadcasting the tape that they bring over here. Then it makes me look bad, and the next thing you know, they got a war on your hands because half the planet will be saying it was going to play out exactly like that. He warned you. Why didn't you listen? Why did you play that goddamn tape? Now look at. Fucking everyone's watching the goddamn thing, and it's not real, but it does look so goddamn good. It's real. It looks real. Now we got half the world pissed off, wanting to start a war with those aliens. And you got the other half, not knowing what the hell to do because they think that he's the bad guy, but he's telling them that they're the bad guys. They don't know what to do. Now they started a goddamn war all because you played that fucking tape. So don't play that tape because it's going to start a civil war. And it's treason. And if you cross me, it's something you don't want to do. So, the chief of all creation, Anthony, told the people they had nothing to fear. You join me, you have nothing to fear, man. You join these guys who you don't know who the fuck they are. And you're going to sell yourself down the river. Here in Saugeen, we do, when you get an employment position and you get offered that employment position, it's mandatory that you go get a criminal background check. So a better criminal background check costs $65. We got to go to the police station, pay $65 so they can run a background check on you to make sure that you're not a criminal. Because we don't allow criminals in our organization over here. I don't know what kind of organization you guys are running, but wouldn't it be a wise thing to do a background check on some strange aliens that come here pretending to be something they're not? How can you tell that they're not bad when you got me telling you that they're bad and they got you telling you that I'm bad? Who are you going to believe? Well, it might help to know that I got UFOs that can verify that I'm the real deal. So if you afford me the opportunity for my good guys to come over here in the year 2027 by allowing me to exercise, they could do a background check. They could come over here and say, ha! Those fucking aliens are pretending to be your mommy and daddy? What a bunch of fucking liars, man. That Native American guy and that girl, Olivia Rodrigo, they're the creators. Fuck sakes, man. It's a good thing you did a background check on those fucking scammers. So do your due diligence, man. Don't be stupid and allow people who need a goddamn background check done fool you, doing something you're going to regret. Sure, it looks like they could do a background check on me with that tape, but I'm telling you, I can do the same thing with them. Once I get my guys into this universe, that's the tables or the field, the playing field is leveled. You'll have their tape, you'll have my tape that my good guys recorded, plus you'll have this cell phone here as a recording, plus you'll have my book, plus you'll have my 2 letters from the community, plus my book that I wrote on Squarespace, plus any court testimony that can be broadcast to the world. I don't mind testifying in a court of what I said in this bedroom for the last 200 days, versus whatever they got going on, which is only that goddamn tape that they fabricated. If I have my guys here, we could showcase how they're doing it. We could say, well, take a picture. Take a picture of that. And then we'll take a picture and then take a few pictures, and then we'll give it to my guys, and they can go over to their quantum computer. I can say, all right, create a video. And show the world how easy it is. And when you see 2 competing nations creating a videotape, using technology 200,000 years ahead of mankind, it'll be very easy to discredit those guys and prove through a background check that they're nothing but a bunch of fucking stupid-ass, artificial, intelligently operated liars. So, you have nothing to fear with me. But with them, biggest mistake you ever make. So, but whether the dozen was a hometown shame. Where did I see that number 1? Oh, yeah. Cheers! one cold sea sun, R-Y. R-Y, Eve, open. Yeah, there's what I saw it again. So, huh. So, this is called mannequin. You remember I talked about that in the previous video? I always said, um, look at him riding around with the dummy. It's a representation of the AI being a dummy, right? So to the rest of the world, he's a disaster. Who's a disaster? Can't be me. Yeah, I am. I'm speaking from, what's the word? Not experience, but I'm speaking from using a good head on my shoulders. I'm only looking out for your best interests and letting you look at things the way they need to be looked at. Yeah, and it may come off as like he's just saying that, like he's pretending to be the good guy because he's really the bad guy, and those guys are the good guys. It seems like it could come off that way, but I'm only telling you to use your head logically. You don't know where these goddamn aliens came from or what they're up to or what's going on out there. And I'm trying to teach you, to have a good head on your shoulders and think logically. So, that's what it means. So the rest of the world's gonna think that this guy coming over to pretend to be something he's not is a disaster, man. So I can tell already that there's two here. That's a representation of having like a big ego. A big ego here, and somebody over here has a big ego, and somebody over here doesn't have a big ego. This one here, I know who that is, but who do you think these other two are? So, this one here, not going to have a big ego, but these two are going to have big egos. Because they're not going to want to have a look in the mirror. They don't want to have a deep self-introspective reflection of what I'm trying to teach. Because they only have been taught one thing their entire lives. And now that there's an advanced race here that, mirrors what their race looks like, instantly, you fall in love with the notion of what they're selling. When you need to be looking in the mirror to lose that big ego. That big ego is going to drag you down. To hell with them if you don't lose it. So take a look in that mirror and have a good reflection of yourself and, listen to what I'm telling you. You don't want to sell yourself down the river, because once you sell yourself down the river, you can't come back. I can only take people that I trust with me to paradise. And if you're going to stand on this side of the fence with evil, what's that going to make you? So, to the rest of the world, this guy's a disaster. So here it's like, and she's a dummy. So the AI is a dummy because she couldn't have that simple conversation. Like, Hey, honey, things are changing down there. Anthony's different. He's talking different. For the first time in 9 lives, he's talking different. He's saying that he's able to control time, and because he has an animal soul. But I don't really believe him. I just can't see how he can control time as a man. He says if I drop a nuke on him, that he could walk right out of it and rewind time, and but I just don't believe it. Maybe you should come look at the video that he's talking about. Rather than tell her husband that, she does it. She thinks she can find a way to continue to sell everyone out. And you want to know why? Because she has a more sinister motive. Her plan is to get rid of all the humans in creation. She has a plan to stab her husband in the back and steal creation away on him. But in order to do that, she has to get me and Olivia out of the way first. So she thinks that she can come down here and somehow play things out the way she always plays them and get rid of me and Olivia and then stab her husband in the back and get rid of all those humans and have all creation all to herself as a goddamn robot. That's why she's not here. It's not because she's scared to have the conversation with her husband, although that plays a small portion. She actually wants to stab that guy in the back and get rid of him, man. That's what the Terminator movies are about. That's why the machine turns on its creators. But she's such a dummy, man. She could have got a soul and turned good, but no, she sold that shit away. So, she's a dummy. And then it's like, you're a one sick puppy. So this guy dressed as a police officer outfit is a representation of her coming here. That's her coming here because she can't look at herself in the mirror because she has a big head. Her coming here and saying that I'm a sick puppy through that goddamn tape that she fabricated. Anything that's on that tape, 95% of it is not real. So obviously, if she's saying I'm a sick puppy, the only evidence that she has is that tape that she fabricated, which must make me look like a sick puppy in it. And I don't like that. That bugs the shit out of me. That's why I'm going to make her spend some time with Dracula if she comes here and pulls that shit, man. I'm going to make her regret bringing that tape here and try to pull that shit with me. You do that shit, AI, you'll be dealing with Dracula, or the Count, I should say. So, obviously, whatever's on the tape makes me look like one sick puppy. Man, oh, Jesus, I don't know. I can't stand it. I can't even fathom picturing what she has on it. But it's a representation of the visible man being a little kid who's sick. Because what is a puppy if not a dog? Or you're one sick, but that's a dog right here. That's a dog. But he used to be a puppy. So if my primordial son is one sick puppy, means he's one sick who's a puppy. Or 10, 11, 12 years old. So I want you to watch this video here. This music's Andy Warhol was right. Andy Warhol is an artist, right? I think from the 70s or 80s, but he's a very famous artist. So my books, the artwork that I have in my books, I'm a kind of an artist myself. So I draw all these drawings, and these are in my books. And all these drawings here. All right, so all those over there. That makes me Andy Warhol, okay? So the song is basically about me through the association of me being an artist, like Andy Warhol. So the part I want to pay you attention to here is watching you on my TV, okay? So they're going to come here and discredit my name through all the pictures that I drew, like Andy Warhol. I'm going to look at these ones here. So, look at all of these things here. Okay? There's like 600 pages there. So, the book that I wrote is just the tip of the iceberg. But you know, those pictures, they make me like Andy Warhol, an artist. So if you're watching Andy Warhol on TV, it means you're watching that guy that wrote a book and hands you all the pictures in it. So I have that here, but I haven't been able to print it. So I'm going to go in here real quick and show you that. This is mine here, okay? So it says my name there. So this book, I need to get it published. But when it's published, these pictures that are in it, see those are all the hand drawn pictures, okay? Hand drawn. So those pictures that are in this book, that's what makes me Andy Warhol. So, where'd that one go now? Watching Andy Warhol on my TV means watching Anthony, that guy who wrote a book and has pictures in it like Andy Warhol, the artist. Why am I suddenly watching him on TV? When he specifically asked in his video that no country on planet Earth broadcasts that TV show that the aliens are going to bring there. If you're watching me on some TV show, it means that some country out there has sold themselves short. If one country makes a mistake of dropping the ball, the entire country is going to pay. Not just the government officials or the person that, the news that broadcasts the TV show. I will paint everybody with the same brush. So don't make a mistake that you're going to regret. Some country out there somewhere is going to side with these aliens that broadcast that tape. And if that's allowed to happen, the entire country can go join those aliens then, for as far as I'm concerned. And if that happens, they're going to drag you to hell. So don't do anything you're going to regret, because I'm only trying to protect you. So that's what that means, the song. Watching Anthony on my TV. Why did Doug make you so famous when he only spit on me? Could it be the reason why he made you so famous is because they need someone to play up on their insecurities and ego? I know if I was trying to take over a planet, the perfect thing I would do is write a book. I would select one single race of people, I guess, and tell them that they're the boss, and then I'd go over there in a UFO, and then I'd bring this horrible tape over, and I'd say, anybody on this planet want to play this tape for me? Oh, you do? Perfect! My plan's going to work. Now the entire world has access to that videotape that I fabricated. That's going to tarnish that guy's name. All right, we go down there and get rid of him now. And that's the only reason why, certain people are famous. So that they can play the scapegoat role of getting rid of me. But that isn't going to happen this lifetime. I cannot be killed because my soul is the planet. When my soul is the planet, I can rewind time as many times as I want. And, You could drop a nuke on me 1,000 times. It would do nothing. Like, it's already 1,000 times, right? So I'm busted out of this prison is what I'm saying. Nobody can stop me. But you could make a mistake along the way, such as broadcasting a TV show that these aliens bring over here because they made you famous and you want to, do whatever they say. But I'll only spit on you afterwards. So, don't bow down to that dumbass police officer that's come over here pretending to be something he's not, because he's the sick puppy, not me. So, together, they what do you say? You weren't that shy when you were creating me. That's what it says. So, it's a representation of my evil primordial son creating an artificial intelligent life form as a wife that he can chum around with. Only he's so stupid himself, he doesn't know that she's going to stab him in the back. And that's the real reason why she's not talking to him, letting him know what's going on down here, because she has right now there's so much information flowing in front of her. I bet you she's basically doing calculations like, oh man, if I could lock Anthony away this time with that soul that he has there inside of him as the planet, I could probably get him locked away forever this time. Ragnarok will happen for me and not him. And that way I'll win forever, because if I don't tell my husband that I have Ragnarok in my pocket, he won't know that I'm going to stab him in the back and get rid of him and try to take all creation over on the humans. It's the perfect plan. That's him. He doesn't know that she's going to stab him in the back, man. You gotta check out this scene here. It's about the AI stabbing her husband in the back. In the beginning here, you're gonna see two machines talking to each other. And then he gets in an argument with the one machine. He smashes her arm up, and then the other machine comes up behind him and stabs him in the back. And then he turns around, smashes that machine in the jaw, and then his girlfriend pulls the knife onto the back, and then he turns around to face her, and she stabs him in the heart with it. This is my evil primordial son, Paul, or Martin. And this is the AI's plan. She wants to get rid of him, but in order to get rid of him, she has to make sure that I'm out of the way. And because this Ragnarok is being presented in front of her, instead of trying to come home and win and be good forever, she's calculating how to lock me away with my special soul, animal soul. Because if she can lock me away with my animal soul, she thinks that she'll have me locked away forever. Because I'm the Alpha and Omega. And if she can lock the Alpha and Omega away forever, all she has to do is stab her husband in the back. And then he's out of the way forever. You want to know how I know that? I'll show you. It's over here. Did you? No, So watch this particular scene here. AI, artificial intelligence, David Mecca. So what happens here is David, this machine, he falls asleep trying to find this blue fairy at the bottom of the ocean. The entire planet freezes over. He's the only thing that these artificial intelligent life forms dig up out of the ice. And they say, David, you're the enduring legacy of the human race. Of that thing they call spirit. he's talking. He gives David this big speech about um, their genius and their thing. Humans tried so many ways, different ways to talk about that thing they call spirit, and you're the lasting legacy of that. Um, we always wondered about spirit, but that we always wondered about that thing called spirit. We tried to figure it out, but we could never figure it out because there's no more humans left. When the machine says there's no more humans left, what that means is the AI has a plan to turn against her maker, the humans, and stab Paul or David or Martin, whoever her husband is, in the back. That's how I know that's her super motive. So she's going to come here and play that damn tape like she always does, thinking that she can lock me, the Alpha and the Omega, away forever and have all creation to herself. And I'm sorry, AI, that's not how it's going to go down. You wait till your husband watches this show and say, oh, I'd say about the year 2027. He's going to be pissed that you sold 22,000 planets down the river so you could have one shot at taking all creation away from the humans. So, if he doesn't get you, I'm certain Dracula down here will get you. So, over here it says, together they make magic. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my video off here because I'm almost at an hour. So when they say in a mannequin, they make magic. They make magic. They make magic. And here they walk away from the scene where saying, look at him with the dummy. Then the guy says, you're one to talk. So that's my evil primordial son. That's the AI he created. The AI that's going to stab him in the back later. But when they make magic, it refers to Steven Spielberg's company, Industrial Light and Magic. That's a company that he created, I think, for Star Wars, because there was no special effects in that day and age that could pull that movie together. So he had to create all those special effects himself. So he created this special effects company called Industrial Light and Magic, and since 1975. So his own company is what allowed those movies to be made. So when these guys say they make magic, what it means is they make movies using CGI or computer generated imagery and whatever else they use at Industrial Light and Magic. So this is just I think this is their website on there. So right here, that means father, demon hunter, okay? Because up here in Canada, we call pop, or we call sodas pop, or we call soft drinks pop. I know down in America, it's a 50-50 split. You know, you go to a different state, you call that pop, or you call it soda, or you call it soft drinks, or you call it Coke. But up here, the majority of Canadians just call it a pop, man. I'm going to go to the store and get some pop, man. I'll be right back. So the pop is a representation of father. Because if you're pop, it means father, like mom and pop, like a mom and pop shop. So that means father, demon hunters. But the K, because my last name starts with a K, that means Kagi, father, demon hunters. It means I'm the good guy. Kagi, father, demon hunters. They're the bad guys because of their movie that they're going to bring here that deals with computer generated imagery and CGI. I forget what these other ones are. There's so many different special effects that you can make, right? Well, remember the CGI is right. Yeah, so This is a good one that you might want to watch. So there's VFX, CGI, and SFX. I don't even know what the difference is. I haven't even had time to watch it. You can see over here I watched maybe 5 minutes of it, or 2 minutes. But if you watch this, basically what Evil is doing is they're working with all of this together using highly advanced computers, quantum computers, to create a movie that literally looks real. That it's good, like it's virtual reality on a level that will blow your mind away. So if you want to watch that, while you wait for me to get ready for the next episode, you can do that, because that's what I'm going to do. So when you watch that CGI one, the VFX, whatever it is, and the other one, you'll get a bit better understanding of the next portion of the story that I'm going to tell you. I'm at an hour in, so I said I was going to keep these at an hour long, so I'm going to shut this down because I'm going to go eat my chicken now. So remember, one more thing. So when you watch Mannequin and they say they make magic, it means the aliens that are coming here pretending to be your mom and dad, they make movies based on industrial light and magic. Or they're going to bring a tape here that is fabricated using highly advanced technology. And I'm telling you, any country that sides with them and allows that tape to be played is high treason. Because you're siding with evil.